Hey, you. Go ahead and take a moment to get settled in. And now, drop everything and just be here, alert and awake to the full range of experience. Today, we're going to explore a category of desire we haven't really talked much about, but one that is a real impediment for many of us, especially in Western culture, where everything about our lives is so goal or achievement oriented. And that is the desire for becoming, the obsessively planning mind, a mind that is always leaning into the next moment, into the next task, the next achievement, always focused on a future self, a better self, a self with more things, with more titles, with more money, that's more famous, or that's even a better meditator. Now, again, it's not wrong to have the desire to improve yourself. It's not bad to plan or to work toward a goal. But as Alan Watts said, tomorrow and plans for tomorrow can have no significance at all unless you are in full contact with the reality of the present. Even if one were to live for endless ages, to live for the future would be to miss the point everlastingly. Just look around. How many of us do miss the point everlastingly? How many of us feel we are never complete, never finished? How many of us are always set on the future, set on some future goal, never in full contact with the wholeness of the present moment? I recently went to a small get together at someone's house, and you could tell just how much work the host had put into planning the night. Their space was beautiful and clean. There were candles lit and soft music playing. There were drinks, snacks, and a joint nicely prepared. We had more than enough to enjoy a lovely night together. But there was one hang up. The host wasn't able to settle into the moment. They were still caught in the becoming mind, still obsessively trying to plan the night, obsessively reaching for some better state. Their energy was frenetic and restless. They couldn't arrive. And the energy spread to the dog and to the rest of the room. Everything felt tight and agitated rather than soft, relaxed, and open. Does this seem familiar? I am certainly not exempt from it. Actually, I recently took someone on a winter hike in the Wasatch Mountains and had everything planned out. The trail, the destination, the topic of conversation. But it turned out the snow was too fresh. There was too much powder to make the journey. It was a day for backcountry skiing, not hiking. So here I was, stuck in the planning mind, attached to my plans, to my expectations, which led me into agitation. I was resistant to how life was in that moment. So I couldn't skillfully navigate what was right in front of me. I wasn't open and free. When I get caught in the planning mind, which is usually about what my day will look like, I tend to get tense and frustrated when things naturally don't go as planned. My mind collapses and contracts, and I'm unpleasant to be around. To avoid this, then, instead of planning my day, I try to frame it with a direction or aim that is built on some underlying motivation and intention. That way, I can keep progressing toward my aim. I can keep moving in that direction. But I don't get upset when something slips out of my control, as it inevitably will. It keeps me flexible and focused right here where I put my next foot. What are the circumstances around me, and what is my motivation and intention? Okay, what can I do right now in this moment to move in that direction? Again, does any of this feel familiar to you? Do you ever find yourself caught in the becoming mind, feeling agitated and frustrated by life's refusal to accommodate your plans and expectations? Does it ever feel like you're leaning into the next moment, leaning into the next task, into the next goal or achievement? Do you ever find yourself caught up in or attached to some better vision of you? Do you ever find yourself too focused on a future self, a better self, a self with more things, with more titles, with more money, a self that's more famous, or that's even a better meditator? Just soak in these questions for a bit. Okay, in the last minute of the session, go ahead and focus exclusively on the breath. Well, thank you for practicing. Now, before you get up, I'd just like to invite you, whenever you feel frustrated, to try to see if there's any expectation you're clinging to. Let the struggle that frustration be feedback. And if you do find any expectations lurking, explore what emotions and mind states they spark. Do you experience a roller coaster ride of hope, upset, loss, anger, and fear? What does that ride feel like? And then consider whether there might be a more skillful way to frame your desire. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.